that's another thing. You can't say your baby. You can say your Labubu.
People are having Labubu sitting over there drinking coffee with Labubu. La ye
La ye.
The grandfather.
Because I know it's like 30% of the consumer are female adult over 30.
Today we are joined by Professor Zhang Ying, an Associate Dean and Professor of Marketing and Behavioral Science at the Guanghua School of Management at Peking University.
Pleasure to be here.
And we have Vica Li, who is a reporter and a Pop Mart toy collector. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome both. An ugly, cute toy by the name of Labubu is taking global headlines. Some say it's really, really lovely, but some say they don't understand the charm behind it. So we'll take it from you, Vica Li. What do you think is Labubu exactly? And what is your first impression when you see this toy?
And I would say I saw this. Firstly, was on social media when one of the pop idols, she posted on Instagram. And then I've seen a lot of more celebrities having them hanging on their bags, especially luxury bags. So it becomes an icon of luxury accessories. So this is how I knew about this toy. Just like, you know, how Hello Kitty, how the little fluffy toys, I thought that was only one of them. I didn't know it has such a really like a big influence globally. Yeah, this is how I saw Labubu for the first impression.
And what about you, Professor Zhang? When was the first time you saw Labubu?
Oh, it's always the students. You start to see them having them on their bags, and the staff member and the younger staff member in the office start to have them on their desks, and all of a sudden it's like, who are those monsters? Turned out that they are the monsters.
They are.
They are.
They are.
So what do we know about the inspiration for Labubu's design and why it looks the way it does? One of the debates online is Labubu a boy or a girl? Can either of you take on this question?
Actually, when I searched online, it told me it's a girl. I just knew it yesterday.
I was very surprised at the first time.
It's a girl, but yeah, like
She, her Labubu.
exactly. Well, I dressed it up as a girl, so yeah. Hi, daughter.
Let's get the pronouns right.
Yeah. The young, lovely lady from the office once gave me a lecture on the origins and the gender of all the Labubu family members, and that's how I got to know it's a little cute girl. There was a boy in the family, and
The big one.
I think it's a big one. I couldn't really tell, but that was my takeaway from the lesson.
Wow, it's amazing to hear that someone gave you, Professor Zhang, a lecture.
Oh yes, oh yes. It was quite a serious lecture.
Yeah, and it was a serious lecture too.
It was.
So,
To introduce the family.
What's your takeaway from the family? I think, Vica, you've done a Instagram video that actually went viral where you introduced the different names. Maybe you can start telling us the different names inside the family so we can get a lecture as well.
So we can learn about the family.
Oh, so actually, I was doing like how they having like first Labubu,
There's Labubu,
and then and then Zmomo is there like their I think there's the head of the family, and the Kororo,
Kuroro.
and there's the big angel, the white one, and the Zmomo. So the video about Labubu, that was how Labubu, Zmomo,
Yep.
and what others, Chihuahua, and then what others like. This is how I found that was like the pronunciation is so good. It's really catching your ears.
Right.
So this is how I was like doing those videos about, oh, this is Labubu, Zmomo, Chihuahua, and then how to make people to, oh, these are like cute stuff.
Oh, great. I think it's a really good video for people to learn the names behind the monster family. And from our research, we've also know that it's got some Nordic
It has
origin.
some Nordic roots. The designer was born in Hong Kong in 1972. His name was Kai-Sing Lung, and he says that it was inspired by Nordic roots. And it seems to be a trend of Pop Mart to to collaborate with a designer. So they bring in a designer who will help them to create a bespoke set of toys for them. Which also makes me think a bit more about the company that started Labubu, Pop Mart, and Professor, there's an interesting story there with Peking University. Some of the directors, including Wang Ning, were students at Peking Guanghua School of Management. Could you tell us a little bit more about what they were like as students and their vision?
Yes, and when we had this question, we were like, Professor Zhang is the father of Labubu.
La Ye Ye.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like the name.
Grandfather.
La Ye Ye.
La Ye Ye.
La Ye Ye.
So La Ye
The
Ye.
grandfather of Labubu.
Why not?
La Ye Ye, give us some inside scoop.
I couldn't take credit for that, but the students. I mean, they were actually, the number of them were MBA students in Guanghua School of Management. And, they were like typical MBA students, and commercial time, and we want students to be courageous. We want them to explore. We want them to do different things and try different things and to pursue what they believe would succeed in the market. I think that's how, in our education, what we try to inspire people to do. And I would say the group who actually founded, who were behind the Pop Mart group, was actually exactly those people, those type of people. It's not like they stumbled upon Labubu in their first attempt. It's not. It's always you try different things, and some work better than others, and some maybe not so well. But at the end of the day, you sort of find this sweet spot. I think that's besides the business knowledge we try to get into the student's mind, and the important thing that we try to inspire them to do is to not to be afraid of making mistakes, to try to really sort of take calculated risks, and to sort of turn their ideas into reality. I think that's sort of if I want to remember the students when they were in among the many MBA students we've had in our school, they're very typical students. Bright, smart, hardworking for sure, but many of them are. So I do think I don't want to actually single out, say, this person is a genius. No, I don't want to do that. It's sort of like we want students, the younger generation, which I will probably refer to in a little bit, that we want them to have those kind of characters, and that actually reflects the general profile of Guanghua MBA students.
Talking about the phenomenon, let's take it back to Labubu. From both of your research and both of your perspectives, why do you think, or what do you think is the reason behind Labubu's global fame? Especially, I think I'll start from you again, Vica, because you collect commodities from Pop Mart, but not just Labubu. You have Demo as well. Why do you think Demo didn't go globally, but Labubu and the Monster family?
That's another video that went viral on my social media that I'm asking why Demo is not famous actually.
What did people say?
Yeah, Demo is famous, but not as famous as Labubu. Because one thing is maybe like Labubu is controversial for sure. Ugly, cute.
Right.
And then Demo, I was like, oh, it's so cute. Everybody said, oh, Demo is really cute. And I think the discussion of Labubu it definitely contribute to its heat discussion online. And then so why I've collected this, I mean, once you start it, you just never end. And then I started with Demo and Labubu, and also the small Molly, if you know Molly,
Yes.
the small collections, and all of them. For the first place, it's kind of like key dot economy for me. It's like I'm raising myself as a kid, because during our childhood, I don't know about you guys, because when I was young, I wasn't allowed to buy so many toys, especially the same one with different colors. A lot of things I heard from my parents is like, you're not playing that for long, you can't buy it. And then and I know from a lot of peers I have for this, like Gen Z, this millennials, we are raising ourselves as adult, as
You're
a
parenting
kid.
yourself.
Revenge buying.
Yes, it's not like well, if you say revenge buying, it is, and it's also like you're like refilling the voids you had from your childhood. And so this is like having a sense of nostalgia and back into the childhood. So we're raising us up.
The binge buying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is why I started in the first place, actually, to be honest.
But what about globally? Because Labubu has been sold overseas even more than China. I guess that's the question for Professor Zhang. Why do you think Labubu is famous overseas? Because Vica just explained why she, as someone who, similar to me growing up in China, wanted it.
yeah.
But why overseas?
I think two reasons for this. First, I would say the taste is much more global. Okay, and I think that reflects the more mature sense of the product. Sorry for calling it a product. I know it's a boy, it's a girl, but
It's a daughter.
it's a son, it's a daughter. But sorry for calling it a product. But it's a more mature sense of a product in the sense it reflects a more global taste. That's why you start to see a wider appeal from people, well, different cultural background, and they start to sort of can identify with this particular appearance or stories and all those things. And so I think that's one reason behind the global appeal. The other one, sorry for again going back to the business aspect, it's actually the company itself. It's actually over the years, it's becoming much more mature in terms of operating globally. Right? If you can imagine, no matter how cute it is, and if you are unable to buy it with relative ease in different parts of the world, it wouldn't have this kind of global appeal. That will also be part of the factor. And also, I'm also going to mention the social media,
Yeah.
TikTok and Douyin and all those things, and that's sort of like it's making people more sort of they are able to learn from each other. They're being educated what is good through the content of the social media. So again, we're actually talking about the appeal of the product being able to appeal to many people from different cultural backgrounds, partly because of the media landscape. That's also probably one of the reasons behind its global success.
And another thing I would say, they have really good advertising on targeting Gen Z, where like people are really heavy using on social media, especially they pick the pop icon, the pop idols, and also like the celebrity targeting millennials like Rihanna, like Kim Kardashian, like they targeting different levels of audience globally to make it as a cultural icon. So they have this. These idols have this like Gen Z. They're like my idols. They have Labubu. This is like definitely one of the triggers. And for people growing a little bit older, like are saying, for example, they have the ability to buy luxury things. When they see Kim Kardashian, Rihanna, like those people, they're hanging this on their luxury bags. So, it's an icon of luxury accessories. I think this is also one of like the advertising strategy they've been using really successfully globally to let more and more different levels of audience. They're really precisely targeting the consumers in their markets.
So it's also
A
showing
bit,
us.
sorry, a bit of clarification. It's probably not precise to call it advertising. I don't think they pay them. I think it's from what I know, a little bit of information that I don't think they paid any of them to do any of those things, and it's just really, I think they acquired those monsters themselves and display them in their social media. I'm pretty sure Pop Mart did not pay any of the celebrities a single penny to do this.
Not even posting on their social media.
No.
Then Pop Mart's very
That's-
lucky.
That's really, I think it's a reverse causality. It's not I paid you so you posted it became popular.
So
It's actually
different orders. So like
It's different orders.
It's like famous first, and then they post it
they
on.
liked it.
Oh.
it's organic love.
Then the
Yeah.
strategy is super smart. Like,
It's organic love,
Yes.
and they, hey, you know what? I have this little cute toy. I really like it. I wanted to showcase it on my social media accounts, and then the fans saw it, and they love it.
I'm very surprised to hear that as well, because I was going to ask if La Yeye, you know that. I'm sorry to keep saying that, but if Professor Zhang, you know, if the Pop Mart executive has paid the celebrities, because it's just all of a sudden, especially after the TikTok refugee at the beginning of the year, we started to see so many celebrities overseas starting to use Chinese product, having a pink Labubu on a handbag. And in my impression, I also thought maybe it's an advertisement, maybe they are paid off. But if you say they haven't been paid,
I'm pretty sure that's the case. They never actually paid them. But
Wow.
I think that's one of the things that if you are trying to create a cultural phenomenon, if you really are going back to sort of, hey, you know what, this is something I want you to relate to emotionally, but behind the scene you're paying people to do that, and that's not strategically smart. And from what I know, I think that, see, this is really one of the things you guys know that it's been around for a while. It's not new. I had a new product in the market, and I want actual endorsements. I pay celebrities to do that. That's not. It's been around for a while. It's and I think one virtue, if you really want to actually go back to the company, is that they're fairly patient. Patience is in short supply those days, and you want. So it's not one of the things today we're here talking about the monsters, the Labubus, the Momo. It's not like they only showed up last year. They've been around for 6-7 years, and they showed a lot of patience. I think that's one thing I also wanted to say, is that when you're actually operating a company with a lot of cultural capital or cultural assets, putting a lot of gas on fire is not really a good thing. You want those kind of the heat. You want the market to notice that, but you don't really want it to go out of control. So that's probably not the best strategy to really pay celebrities, especially people like Rihanna. I mean, she commands a lot of fan power, and so I'm pretty sure it was organic.
Right. And Professor, something else worth looking at is a lot of the mystery around this is the mystery box, the blind box, and you don't know what you're going to get. We understand that you have done some research into consumer psychology. How has that played into the success of things like Labubu?
It's definitely part of the charm, but I would not personally attribute the success of the thing to the mystery box, the lottery-like strategy. I think it definitely draws on people's avoidance of uncertainty, and they are extremely happy when they find something that's normally on sale. Definitely, those are part of the story for the success of Labubu and or more generally Pop Mart in general. But I would also want to emphasize that you have a lot of designs that are being sold on mystery box. That's not like it, and it's something that can fairly easily replicate it. But even with that kind of strategy, I don't think you see the kind of success that Labubu enjoys today. So I think it might be attractive for consumers in the beginning, but at the end of the day, it's really the product that can get people to relate to them, and I think that's much more important than the mystery box tactic. Let's call it that, or strategy.
And Vica, we were also talking about the cuteness and how that plays into the psychology of something like Labubu. So one of the things we can think about is, do people consider Labubu some kind of a comfort thing, like a toy or a pet that you dress up? We see your Labubu has got some accessories on it as well. Could you tell us a little bit about those elements and the cute aspect of buying Labubu?
I would say not only for me, a lot of people like for Gen Z, because they're raising them up, like
Raising them, yeah.
yeah,
Like
raising them
kids.
up like kids,
Yeah.
and then it's definitely serve as some emotional support in our daily life. You can see a lot of famous posts on the right notes that people are having Labubu sitting over there drinking coffee with Labubu. Like yeah, it's like definitely a sense of a company. And the way why I'm dressing these up, not only for the emotional support, the other thing is when I hang it on the back, people are gonna see it. It's another sense of like attracting people attention, like except especially for attracting strangers attention. It's also a way of socializing. People are asking, oh, I like your Labubu, and where did you get the clothes? And this is a way to start the conversation. It's like you it's a
It's an icebreaker.
Like,
yeah,
like walking a
definitely.
dog.
Exactly.
I like your
I like
dog's
your
jersey.
dog.
I like your
I like your
shoes.
oh yeah, I like your dogs. It's like yeah, it's this is how like I define the cuteness of Labubu and also like the set of demo.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
I heard that this term of raising them up, this is my daughter, coming up a lot when you talk about Labubu and Demo. Can you unpack more about the aspect of how Gen Z is seeing them raising these things? Because I don't really, when I see it, I don't see myself as mother of these things. I don't
Okay.
feel how I can raise them up.
Let me
Yeah,
tell you
please.
some like details about how to raise a Labubu. First,
Please.
you
Okay.
unpack them, right?
Yes.
Right.
A lot of people will take videos on how to unpack it. Imagine giving a birth to someone and recording in the first place, and dressing them up is kind of like really essential ways to dress them up, and then they have their special names and different characters. Like you're dressing them up as for this one. This is for go to hiking, maybe camping, and they have a different like version of their clothes, like school version, sports version. They have so many different like version, and also I'm having all this toys here, but people will have a transparent bag for it. They don't want it to get like dirty, so it's not only to put something on your shelf and just watch them. We take them away. We take them with me. And we're taking them to different scenarios. We took them to different places to take photos to enjoy the time with them. We don't really necessarily talking to them for sure. I'll just try to claim that. But yeah, it's just a part of the life. This is how we always say, oh, raising the daughter, raising the son, like raising them up. Does that sound crazy to you guys? I was wondering.
It sounds
What
like
do you think, Professor? Yeah.
you took away all the bad things about the baby. They don't cry and
They don't poop.
they don't poop and you don't
You
have
don't
to.
clean them
You
up.
don't get hungry.
You don't get hungry. None of those things, but still you get the company. I mean, it sounds like it's you just take away all the bad things and keep all the good things about
Yes,
the baby.
Yeah.
exactly.
The good thing is it's cute, so you've got that part right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get to choose.
Especially the part where you can socialize with it. I feel like it's a really big social factor. So it's very common among Gen Zs to have a toy or commodity, maybe not a Pop Mart toy, but maybe something else that they have, that they can sort of use that as a way to break the ice with another person. Would you say it's right?
And we actually kind of like have the debate on like, do you see Labubu as a luxury things, especially when the price went really high recently. And then imagine when we're having like the sports shoes, the basketball shoes. They were not expensive in the first place. Just like Labubu, they have like different prices, and this is how we break the ice in the first place when we're comparing our sports shoes, like the basketball shoes. So I would say Labubu, for some reason, it's just like the shoes things. You hand them up, and it's like icebreaker. You catching people eyes, and especially it's a way for you to find people who share the same interest with you. Just like shoes, you see, oh, you have this Nike shoes, you have this whatever shoes, and you're gonna have a lot of topic with that person. Just like Labubu, when you see someone has the Labubu on the back, you say, "Ah, we are the same parents." I mean, yeah, where people share the same interest. So this is how I see as icebreaker or an icon of socializing people that are similar to you.
Thank you, Vica. So, Professor Zhang, from what Vica has just shared, do you think it's a good advice to give entrepreneurs in the future to create a product that has sort of some kind of a topic or story around it? So people are more likely to buy it. Is that something that you see from the fame of Labubu?
First, let me just add on to what Vico was talking about, and I would say people do actually socialize centering around Labubu, but I doubt that's the reason why they do it.
Okay.
I think it's more like a consequence, right? It's sort of like I don't purchase. Sorry for using the word purchase. I don't purchase a Labubu because I want to socialize with other people. I think that might be there, but I doubt it's going to be a main reason.
So you don't think peer pressure made them buying these things?
It's not peer pressure. It's really just like I see it as being cute, and I want to be part of this craze, and I want to be part of this. I do find it cute, and I also have to remind you that people's tastes are very malleable and changeable, right? And as a result of that, and I have that, and then I see another person having a very similar baby, and we interact and we socialize. Instead of saying, hey, you know what, I want to be close to a person, so I get to acquire a Labubu. I don't think that's the case. Going back to your question, and going back to say some other famous icons, say for example Mickey Mouse, who's been around for over 100 years, and there are always stories behind them. And one thing I do want to remind you is that Mickey Mouse or all other iconic figures, they're around because they're operational, in the sense that you always see stories about them, and they always have new things coming out. And in the business sense, we call that operation. You're going to have to keep them alive in people's lives, right? We've seen many once very famous icons simply because of the lack of operation. People stop putting new story into them, and they stop appearing in people's lives, and they got forgotten very quickly. And they call them fads, right? They come and they go. And the ones that do survive, they are always innovating, they're changing, they always have new stories. It's not really, so going back to your question, it's not really one topical story. It's every generation will have their own Mickey Mouse, and you want that to survive to across generations. You're going to have to keep them alive in people's lives. Definitely. So we always try to emphasize the design of something. We trivialize the operation of a iconic figure, or you call them IP or whatever you want to call it. The operational aspect is every bit as important, if more important, than the design of something.
So what did Pop Mart do right in terms of their operation?
Yeah.
It's only been crazily hot for about a year, so it's already, from what I know, 3 generations already. And I don't think that they do that internally. I think it's the fans who are starting to say, you know, well, this is first generation Labubu, that's the second generation, that's the third generation. And then I wouldn't be surprised if later we're going to start to see stories about the Labubu family, the monsters, and the movies that you were mentioning, and all those things. And we shouldn't be surprised. So those are the kind of stories, right? We've seen many of things, and they're crazily hot for a period of time, then they disappear. And then 5-6 years later, the new generation comes up, and then no one knows about them. So I think that's the mystery, or I think coming back to the point of business operations, just really, it just shows the amount of effort you put in it, and you want to keep it alive. So you're going to have to do the continuous investments in it instead of hoping for something that can hard and you move on to the next. No, that's not how it works.
So let's throw ahead to the evolution of Labubu and what's next. You were saying that the journey could be short or long because we have fads, but one of the things that could play into this is prices. At the moment, it's some of these products are quite high, but when it started, it had a fairly low price point. How do you think price affected its early successes, in the sense of people spend perhaps on things that are cheaper because they might not have a lot of cash around?
I would say.
How much are you spending on Labubu, for
Your
example?
first Labubu.
Yeah.
Well, they are actually around the original price.
Right, which
Because
is
I started pretty
Okay.
early. It's like around 100.
Okay.
And then for the
100
bigger
Chinese.
demo, it's like less than 200. So
Okay.
it's like an affordable price for
Yeah.
sure. And then so it's not hard for if I was like, oh, why people are having this? Let me get one to see, and if it's really cute, because they are blind box.
Right.
So blind box is definitely another first step for me to step into Pop Mart industry. So let's just see if what I can get with a lower price. So it's easy for people to, step in. They're targeting a wider audience scope. It's more like, because I know it's like 30% of the consumer are female adult over 30. So this is how like they started. If you are targeting kids, definitely a little bit lower price. Or if you're targeting kids, you're targeting the parents actually, to be honest. So like this price, it's kind of like targeting like they are consumers to start. We can have a try, especially it's a blind box. I mean, when we are really stressful from the work, let's see what I can get in the blind box. I think this is a good start for have a lower price. Yeah.
So they have a low price entry level, and a lot of people, even though they're not a fan of Pop Mart or toys, they can just buy one to have a try, and maybe from then they got hooked on to buying more and more.
It's also a really good start to send gifts if you're buying a Pop Mart, like the blind box to send as a gift. So this is how my people. It's how like people around me.
The Labubu tribe.
It's how people around me they started to buy this. Not only for personal collection. I mean, collection is starting after you bought the first one. You had one. No, one is not enough. I want different colors. You keep buying the blind box, and you have the repeated one, and then you resell it, and you have more. This is how you started.
And now you have the accessories as well, because your Labubu has shoes and a hat. I mean, are these things people are making by themselves, or are they being custom made for your Labubu? How are you getting the accessories?
For these accessories, you can see people started by their own business to making smaller,
them,
like
right.
and then there are actually a lot of big online shops online to sell them, and you just basically search Labubu clothes.
And
And
you're gonna get a
you're gonna-
bespoke shoes.
Yes, and you don't really need to pick the shoes. They comes with all sets. And guess how much for the clothes?
I don't know. Maybe a set for 100 RMB?
Less.
Less.
Less. Oh.
It's like around 50 or 60 actually.
For a set.
50, 60 for a set.
set.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have a different like design and a different like patterns, fashions on
Right.
it.
Different outfit for each day of the week, if you like.
Oh, definitely. So it's another industry for sure. Yeah.
And I have seen people getting very clever making these clothes. For example, when a Korea pop band re-emerged into the market, and the lead singer is really famous, and they made a Labubu outfit from the performance costume that the singer was wearing. So it's like I like Labubu, but if I'm also a fan of that singer, I'm going to buy that clothes to dress my Labubu up as the singer. So I have another reason to like it. People are very clever. It's just like you said, Professor Zhang, that people are creating a continuous story around this commodity that it keeps evolving. It doesn't even just stop at the time where you buy it, I guess.
We call them accessorizing. I think
Accessorizing.
that's really one sort of like the industry that's coming out of the Labubu phenomenon. But one thing I do actually want to mention that you're talking about price.
Yep.
As far as I know, the official price or the MSRP hasn't really changed.
Yes.
Despite the
resale one.
the resale, well, it's the hustlers,
Yeah.
right? The hustlers, they are the ones who are actually really making the profit. I think that it was a really smart decision for the company to really sort of say, you know what, we are not part of the game to raise the price. On the contrary, they are the ones who are actually really try to up the ante in terms of production. I want to sell more. I want to actually put more of the toys on the market so people can have it at the original price, which is quite reasonable.
Yes. Yeah.
But if you don't really do that, you allow the hustlers to monopolize the market, and they are gonna jack up the price. And as a result of that, the people who are getting hurt are the real fans of Labubu, right? Which is definitely not something that the company wants to see. The company wants the market to be able to have this fabulous product at a reasonable price. And if you don't really put enough supply on the market, the result of that will be people will be driven away, or you're actually going to create a secondary market or even black markets or a market for counterfeits. So I think when we talk about the price going high, we're going to have to be very careful. It's not really the price from the company that's going high. It's actually really because they can't keep up with the supply.
So the intention was always to have a lowish kind of toy price, not to have this inflated situation that we have now. Okay.
Right. If you
With people spending thousands on Labubu.
right, and if it's really when you really are looking at the different marketing, you're talking about a global market. You're talking about a company that's operating globally, right? And then you're going to have to start thinking about the operating costs are going to be different in different countries. And then for that, you don't really want the secondary market to take over to dictate what the pricing strategy would be for the company. So for them, it's much easier and more reasonable to really keep it, make sure the market is really stable. You can see from what the company is doing, they really intentionally increase the supply of this product to keep the price in the secondary market low. So that was the intention. That really was this should be the way of operating, and for a company that really tries to create a cultural phenomenon instead of sort of like I want to get the most out of this craze. No, that's probably not where they're going.
So Vica, so for your people who started buying Labubu at the original price, when you hear this news about Labubu going for auctions and the price going up so much, what do you guys feel? Because you're sort of the OG, the original fans. What do you guys feel about the high price right now?
Resell it.
Resell? Why not?
No, just for kidding. Like,
See, that's another thing. You can't sell your baby. You can sell your Labubu.
oh, joke from the evil jokes. So yeah, no. When we first when we heard like the price went so high, and the first was just like, buying the stock. Then the stock goes high, you're like, oh, I got the right one. And then, because I'm not that big fan of Labubu, so I would say I resell it. Of course, like I'm a fan of Demo, sorry. And then some people will think about resell it, but for a lot of like the real fans from the first place, they will just keep it. Because they keep it just because they like it, just not because like they saw, oh, this is gonna have a higher price where it's like, or some, other art things to collect. So it's like they like it, they will keep it. And for some people, they're probably gonna resell it.
Is it a set of 6 Labubus for a complete set? Or?
Yeah, the whole set was like 6 for the toy, and then the 12 for the smaller things. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna start it?
I don't see myself queuing for Labubu just yet, but maybe if
Get
there's a
yourself a
move.
first one. You'll start.
You think I'm gonna bite first and then I'm gonna eat the whole Labubu craze? Okay, let's see. I'm not sure.
Imagine you
Maybe I'll start getting shoes.
Yeah, exactly. And you have all this on your desk in office,
Yes.
and you're gonna attract a lot of people coming in, and then the whole department of.
I was like, you don't have that one.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
Also look to my cute Labubus for emotional support occasionally.
Yeah. So you're like, here, my daughter or my son are work with me in the office, working with me together.
You're allowed to cry in front of them. It's fine.
Take it with you for work trips, and then
Take it to KTV with you.
Yeah.
All of that. Yeah.
Business trips, everything.
So we've seen so much happening around Labubu. Do you think success like this can be repeated, Vica?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
I would say yes, because Labubu is not the first toy win globally. Way before that, Hello Kitty and creators from Disney, and even right before Labubu, the character of Naja, really similar to Labubu, also went really famous globally. So I think it can be repeated, just like how Professor Zhang mentioned. Everybody has its own Mickey
Labubu,
Mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
Oh, Mickey
Winnie
Mouse
the
and
Pooh.
for their generation. So for Gen Z, it was Labubu. Yeah.
what do you think, Professor Zhang? Can the success be repeated?
Oh yes, it's not going to be an identical repetition, but you're always going to be seeing just kind of icons being created by different companies and by people of from different places, and the appeal to different groups, and then at some point it's going to have a wider appeal. It's going to become a global cultural phenomenon, and it's been happening for 100 years. So I think that's or hundreds of years, and I think that's with the. I do actually want to again refer back to the changing media landscape, and that's really making the world a lot flatter than it used to be, and I think it would be probably easier to create this kind of a global phenomenon compared with in the past, because it's a lot of times you rely on the media channels to sort of allow people to get to know those characters and get to like them, and then now you have platforms that are just really working globally, and the world is becoming a lot flatter. So if you ask me, it's going to be becoming more frequent compared with the past.
Yes, around Labubu, I have seen a lot of UGC, user-generated content, especially a video of unboxing it. 9 out of 10, it will just go viral on TikTok, and people are like, oh, what did she get? What did they get? And the reaction after they actually got it. So yes, and thank you for your answers. I guess we wanted to ask the question whether it can be repeated, sort of also from part of a selfish reason, because Labubu is created by a Chinese company, Pop Mart. However, a lot of people, when they see Labubu or when they see Pop Mart, they don't really recognize the Chinese element in it, because Labubu itself, even though it looks like Naja a little bit, but it comes from the Nordic origin, and also the shop Pop Mart, when you see the logo, it doesn't look very Chinese. And we had the discussion, Professor Zhang, that it's not just because it's Chinese, it's going global. There's a lot more to it. However, we have seen, and I'm sure Vica, from your reporting, you've seen as well, that a lot of Chinese content have gone global recently. Short vertical drama, Black Myth Wukong, and also the Lam Lao, the rapper, 别墅里面唱开, you know, that one. So he's so hot right now on TikTok. And I guess I'll throw the question first to Professor Zhang. Why do you think Chinese entrepreneurs are starting to sort of get the global psyche a lot more these days? What's behind their success, I guess?
That actually brings up the point I always wanted to make, is that when we're actually emphasizing the Chinese influence, Chinese factor, which is very true, and we're starting to see a lot more global phenomena originating from China, which I'm very proud of. But one thing I do want to point out is that behind all those phenomena, it's a different generation. it's the younger generation of the Chinese entrepreneurs. Those are the people who were born and raised in a globalized era. Their education reflects a global perspective, and they deeply appreciate the Chinese traditional culture, but they are not bounded by it. And with that kind of taste and educational background, then they create products that have wider and global appeal. And I think that was one of the main reasons we're seeing a lot more phenomenon originating from China. And if you interact with the younger generation, the kids, they have a lot of similarities with the kids from Tokyo, New York, London, or Rio de Janeiro. And they are younger generation. They are the hope. And I'm very fortunate to live in this era, to witness this generation of entrepreneurs, of business owners making their business decisions. I mean, one very good example is that I were the owner of Pop Mart. I look at Labubu, I was like, probably not. I don't think people are gonna like it. That's purely my taste. And the brave young kids coming from Guanghua, they made the decision. Hey, you know what? They believe that people are going to like it, and it turned out they're right. And I'm very happy for that.
What do you think, Vica? From your perspective, do you think, like Professor Zhang said, the world is more flat? And why do you think now a product coming from China, taking modern culture with it, is going global?
At first, it's targeting a wider audience for sure globally, and it's not necessarily to be an icon of traditional Chinese culture. Well, traditional Chinese culture can be success, like the Black Myth Wukong, like Naja, they can be, and also like this, and they can also be really trending globally. Talking about no matter for Disney characters or Hello Kitty, like those Japanese characters, they don't really have their traditional Japanese culture. Or I don't know for Disney. I think Disney pretty much has American culture, but like for Hello Kitty, for that, it doesn't really have a lot of features of Japanese culture. So it's targeting wider audience globally. But Hello Kitty is from Japan, Disney from America, and Pop Mart is from China. So it's not necessary to bring all the traditional or iconic Chinese culture into the products, but like the products itself can open a wider global market itself.
Amazing. And before we end today's episode, there's a chance for both of you to talk about your next project. Vika, do you want to talk about your Instagram or TikTok channel so our followers can also follow you?
Oh yeah, my social networks are Vica Li Chinese, more like sharing Chinese culture, and also for pop culture for sure, like from the Gen Z perspectives. Also Chinese language for sometimes, yeah.
Part of the force how modern China is going global. Thanks to Vica Li. And Professor Zhang, what is your next research project, or are you publishing anything right now?
I'm actually in the process of writing a book about the change in consumption landscape in China. And China's been enjoying tremendous economic growth, but the consumption aspect has always been less studied, and we have transitioned from relative shortage to relative affluence, and then in a relatively short period of time, the people are changing, their tastes are changing, and we all see also the younger generation or the migrant workers come in, joining the consumption force, and who are they? What their tastes are, and I think those are the things I'm currently very interested in, and I believe understanding them will be very crucial in terms of understanding the future of China's economy. So that's what I've been doing. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned indeed, and we would love to have both of you back in the show, of course. And
to discuss the next big craze, whatever that may
Hopefully
be.
soon.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
hopefully soon. And also, remember to like, share, and comment, and let us know what are the other China topics of contemporary China that you would like us to discuss. So bye for now.